My thing is, who came up, right?
You
In the
know.
white man's world, right?
You sure that, right?
Was able,
Yeah,
and was able to leave and do their own thing. Nah, you still fucking with him. You still making money. Then you doing whatever he needs you to do. You ain't jump out on your own. Because the Cube tried to do it. Look at all the problems he had. He still needed them to back him with that football league joint he did.
Well, he could have did it. It's not that he didn't have the money, but they blocked him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They make sure
All the time, on everything. Think of something. They hide to hinder you. Let me see if I can slow him down from coming up. No, what's wrong with you? And then these coons help.
Well, at the end of the day, right now, you making that move and they trying to slow you down.
That's why I told the God, I said, now listen, wisdom, Lord. When you're sitting there in your feelings and being all emotional, but you're a man, you're supposed to be logical that he's going. He doesn't agree with it. And so it's making him not only paranoid, but belligerent. And it does that. It makes you anxious, it makes you belligerent, it makes you outside of yourself. But you're acting like you're not on drugs, but you are on drugs. That prescription shit is drugs. And it's the imbalance that hypertension and diabetes medicine does on its own without the pain medication. So in my mind, when you say that you know and understand 120, because prior to this, you got a universal flag on. So when you got upset over the equality, but you shouldn't have been getting upset over the equality, like that doesn't make sense, right? So anyway, you got upset over the equality and you call yourself, I don't know, defending that right. Right? So, oh, you trying to tell me what to do? It's all about the culture I got. So,
right, back at the end of the day, we know what it is. So why even act outside of that? Why even try to
act like you're here?
Right.
Now, I'm gangster. Now, everybody's going, but I thought you was God.
Right.
I thought the G stood for God.
Right.
I didn't know your G stands for gangster. Then we know you wasn't really gangster because I can remember when you was living from pillar to post. Gangsters don't have to live from pillar to post because they kill people and they got mad money from selling illegal activity.
Right. They're going to make sure they good.
Yeah. So you ain't really gangster. And now I'm wondering if you know and understand 120, which I know you used to quote it, but that don't mean you know and understand it.
Right. Anybody could quote.
Anybody could quote. So now that's why everybody is saying, to a certain extent, dude, you're not gangster because you really don't have that much control over your life.
Right. You ain't all about that. My enemies necessary. I'm gonna make sure I'm good.
Well, you ain't disciplined. You don't have discipline.
That's another thing, right?
How do I know you don't have discipline? Well, if you got hypertension and diabetes and you got 120, then you can have discipline because how to eat to live don't get hypertension and diabetes. So that means all along you've been doing the wrong thing. And then when I try to born you into that mathematical equation before the shit went down, I remember when they all pulled up at the Justice Cycle Morn. And I looked at their cuticles and I told them already there was problems. And I explained to them what to do and what the remedy was. And maybe months later, maybe 3 to 9 months, 3 to 6 months, something like that.
Might even went harder than what you was doing before.
I went to your house and saw the whole house is full of 85% food. And I explained to you at one time what we thought was 5%. It was 85%, but we didn't know because we didn't know about grain, starch, soy, dairy, sugar. We didn't know on that level. Once I told you that, you're supposed to have made that adjustment, all of you. And the reason why that adjustment wasn't made is, like I said, you're not in control of your household. Right. So now you're not in control of your household, you're going to try to come for me? And on top of it, I'm firstborn, male. Yeah. And I got more knowledge of stuff than that whole group got. Dude, I live and eat knowledge of stuff. And I'm a soldier. So my thing is, okay, this would happen. So you talking about he was a gangster, and I said, well, I ain't no gangster, but I was damn for sure the Army. Yeah, right. So if they check the DD-214, they'll say I got combat. So I really am a soldier. Now, when they check your credentials, they not gonna say you was gangster. Man, I'm the true and living God. I know and understand 120 lessons. This is how I see it. And I don't think that was, I wanted to do this, and y'all ain't do it. And we would have been building. And you would have saw you was dead ass wrong. So that's what I'm saying. You're not going to think that you cutting my throat. You cutting your own throat. Because I could run a marathon right now.
At that, right.
Yeah, and all that shit about, you think you could beat me now because I got one foot. And I'm saying, we grew up together. When did you win?
Right.
Like, you ever had a fight with me that you won? We've been together since what you saying is real. Right. So I ain't, dude, you sound crazy saying that. Like, you saying, oh, now that I got my foot now, you think you could beat me. Dude, I could beat you before you lost it. So I ain't trying to get at you now. And all that. Man, stand on your motherfucking square. Stop acting like a little girl. Because that's how women act. Women are emotional. Men are logical. I'm going to need you to get out your feelings and get up in this. Because you was just mad because we had already burned all the equality. We was like, yo, give me some of that weed. Give me that kudgy. He called it kudgy, whatever. Okay, and I'm saying, we already burned it all. We rolled up. What are you talking about? Oh, he felt like we should have. Dude, you brought it to us from somebody who gave it to you to give to us. He knew all four of us burned because he already know us. We all know each other. So he knew that amount he gave us was pretty much gone. If you had something to say about you wanted some of it, you should have got some of it right then when we was all there, or got it from him.
Right. Or gave us.
That's why I be saying, you get knowledge yourself, you supposed to take it to the next level, not go. You went negative instead of positive.
Right. Figure, oh,
you like Yaku. You went 360 degrees in the wrong direction, which made you 720 degrees off. The rate you going, that's coming for you. You moving that way. I saw what you was eating at the banquet. And everything you ate was 85% non-Asiatic, non-knowledge of self. You did nothing that was knowledge of self. The whole time you was there, you made all your little siblings and all them, your little children, all them, mad at you.
Just like everything else now, I'm gonna save some space. And this shit is perishable. That cash is perishable. Let me put
That's
it
a good way to look at it, Lord. I need to put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, I'm trying to preserve
Pretty much.
this, hold this down because, listen, if I still had the Nike box from '92, well, that shit might not even be. I take it to the store.
300,000 in '92. They just still be 300,000.
Well, it was 10,000 in Social Security. As far as that's what it is when it comes with them numbers, them 40 points. I'm just talking about Social
Security. Well, that's
what
comes when they be talking about fixed income. When they say I'm on a fixed income and they be crying when that's gone.
Right, because it's just that Social Security.
Because that's all they got. That ain't a lot of money per month. You pretty much broke. But that shows that, in my mind, that makes me think you didn't do what you needed to do when you were young.
Right, when you had the time
you
to
worked off the books too much. You didn't take up the future. Every time I had y'all.
You know why, though? Because them in themselves know they didn't hold the standard. So, what we got to do now is eliminate who's holding the standard. You holding the standard. Just like the white man. If we can eliminate that idea, that standard they have, then we're good from it. They don't know where to go from there.
You're right. Because when we first opened up, all we had was a Hebrew standard. And we really didn't know that. We just knew Leviticus and Deuteronomy. I knew it, and I would tell them. And we knew we were Hebrews, but I didn't know the culture.
Right. In full, right.
Right. Because we was under Melchizedek's nation. And Kamasi and them. As children. This is what we was doing as children. So you don't have no choice in the matter. But after I hit knowledge added onto a cipher, from that point on, from knowledge added onto a cipher to knowledge God, I was pretty much at 85. Right. And then at knowledge God, I was seeking. So I wasn't really 85 no more because I had went back to Hebrew world where I wasn't eating pork and all that. But they tricked me into doing that by wooing me. At first, I was nah. Right. Because they tried to come at me hard. But once they figured out that you better act real nice and woo him and friendly. Right. And they got me because I'm a child. So 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. By the time I hit 13, 14, they didn't already trick me. I don't remember my Hebrew world. And I didn't know Allah because we had, you really don't know Allah like that if you ain't in the projects and the streets and they ain't got to you.
And you ain't got somebody constantly showing you. And at the end of the day,
I had 85.
You had that zone, right? You in that zone where it's like, yes, they're in you, But you ain't got that
I don't
around.
got it controlled, and I don't
Right.
see a
You
child.
can't develop it because
Yo.
it's not around you.
Mm-hmm. So once that Chicago guy, it was a guy in Chicago, we was in Korea together. That's when I started getting exposed to knowledge of self under 120. But I still don't know 120 or none of that. I don't even know it exists because I'm receiving that type of science from the Muslims when we out there. The Muslims had meetings. Lies had been gone, right? And so the Muslims would have meetings, and I would go to their meetings. And they was in the house and stuff because I knew Abdullah and them from the hilltop. And so I would be going to his Muslim. It was him hosting it. I knew him. And we used to always build. And so he would take me to the meetings. But I didn't know that they were all FOI meeting at the house. So I said that to say, long story short, I bought the first 5 books from them. And it was, you could tell it was old school because they were all red and they're hardback. So all the fact checkers that know that science, they'll say, yes, they red with the gold print, right? On the cover I'm talking about. Inside is black and white paper, black writing. But y'all know that if you from the old school, you'll know How to Eat to Live, book 1 and book 2. You'll know Our Savior Has Arrived, Fall of America, Message to the Black Man, and Flag of Islam. Now I didn't have book 2. I didn't even know book 2 exists. I didn't see it when I first bought them. So I only had Message to the Black Man, Our Savior Has Arrived, Fall of America, How to Eat to Live, book 1, and Flag of Islam. That's what I had. And so I had that for a long time. And I was studying that. But it wasn't enough to born me. I didn't even know the black man was God. And I had read Message to the Black Man like 100 fucking...
Kennedy, Capone, the Kennedy, and my point in saying that is a gangster, everybody, because who usually labels people gangsters when it originally came out were people trying to put a frown on how
on
somebody
what they
lived.
was doing.
Well, and they were. Those that was calling them gangsters, they were the true gangsters. They were the original gangsters. Before you came and slaughtered people that helped you. They came and helped you. You fucked up. They see you fucked up, and they came and helped you. You slaughtered them. That ain't no gangster shit.
Valentine, the Valentine murder. That's Al Capone and them. Because they didn't consider Jesse James and them gangsters.
Columbus.
They was a sailor and a Navy man, and he was in with Marines. Spaniards, Italians.
Oh,
and
that's
Jews.
why he got the money.
They like Murphy. He's dead. Off the limit, if he's a merchant, like that. If you go way back, they might even like the leg ball, but they just don't know it. But everything that they got came from the Hebrews. That's what people don't catch. They think that Jewish people and Hebrews are the same people. They're not. Jewish people are Jewish people that took on the Hebrew culture and creed and religious practices in Europe. They're from Europe. Hebrews are from Africa. And they have lamb's wool. And they go way back to the days of Abraham. There's no Hebrews before Abraham. That's why the original people be saying, we older than that. That was just to reform us because we was here in the wilderness of North America and the devil have twisted us since 1555 to now. So you need these rules and regulations.
Right. Catch on because there's the thing.
The people who our prophets came and brought us what we needed because at that level in time, you couldn't get no.
Well, right, and that was a whole next thing, especially how the situation was.
Dude, people's parents, when you came home in the 60s and told your parents the black man was God, they put you in the insane asylum. They let the devil get you. They called the devil and told him to come get you. So, imagine what they would have did in 1913. And Norbert Ali was saying in 1913, time never was when man was not. The time never was when man was not. Time would be when man would cease to exist. For man and the law are one and the same. So he said that then in the opening, in the creation and fall of man. He born it. That's a big ass degree. That was the only degree I really used. That's my degree. I love that degree. That degree is awful. That degree gives you a plus degree to the first degree in the 1 to 10. And it come from him. And he's the only Listen, there's only two people in the wilderness North America in real life that have a 7 inside it is as an actual feet. Them and us. That is it. We have to manifest it in NOI. 2 points on the crescent, 5 points on the star, give you 7. And 120 came from them. That's how they got it. But he has an actual circle 7, and it's a cracked circle, and ours is all the way born. So that's the actual fact of the solar effect. So that's why I said, why would you have all that if the people you talk to, that you aim them into the knowledge of stuff, when you say to them, whatever you said, you don't tell them that you said you thought you was a gangster now. Like you said that now. In this timeline. Not before. So that looked like hypocrisy.
But that wasn't always so.
Now you got a universal flag on it, your answer is I'm gangster.
Right.
Even if you had a compass and a square and the G was in the middle, it don't mean gangster.
Yeah, right.
It means God and geometry and things like that. Geography.
Back to the math.
Mathematics, where you going? 7 signs. It go there. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I was like, what?
University. How it started and how basically it is now. Because yes, it might not. They try to get us to take it out of the bloodline, but they make you can't.
But they try to.
They try to, and they use the entity as a bloodline.
Word is born.
Right, I'm saying
Word is born.
Right. So in that same bloodline.
Like I was a soldier of the U.S. Army. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that the American Army is right and exact and everything they do is correct and this, that, and the third. I'm not saying that. I'm saying what rights did I go through? What traveling? I try to move the same way the father moved.
I'm not giving myself this name. Somebody else gave me this title.
The father was in the army, even though he was there before knowledge yourself. I hear about knowledge God a lot. I hear about firstborn prince. I hear about Black Messiah, firstborn Black Messiah. And this is what I'm saying. They say firstborn now. But when they was Prince. He was Prince, he was Messiah.
Right, that's something we use now. They didn't use that term.
And like the God said, before that everybody had Muslim names. So to act like we supposed to, that's why when they said, oh, we wanted the math the exact way it was when the law first gave it to us. WD's language and Elijah's language is the law's language.
Okay.
And the law was saying shit. They all believe that it's okay.
They share ideas. They share common ideas. But they don't exercise them the same way right now.
Pretty
That's
much.
What I know.
It ain't that much different. The scale is from 1 to 10. They're inside of that. They all doing it. Look, well, watch them. Name something that one is doing that the other ones ain't doing. Just give me one. Give me one example.
No, like all of them are. I want to say social media.
Damn right they are.
All of them on social media, and it depends on how you view them, how they react.
Yeah, but the key is what's the key?
They're on social media. I get you.
They all millennia. They all got the phone. They all got their head in it. They all do what they do. They all think Jordan's is the major shit. They all think Apple is the top of the line. They all think Prada and all that is the thing. They all like to wear the label. They all like to keep their tag.
Everybody about the top.
They do the same thing. Just like back in the days we did Gazelle. And all we did the same thing. And Shell Tots.
No, it was
all
different.
That.
The reason why I'd say, like, I'm going to give it the 80s. Not even the 70s. The 80s. The reason why it was different in the 80s because it was new what we were bringing. It wasn't something.
Okay, so wasn't it new in 1964 what we was bringing?
Correct. That's why it had its momentum.
When Bob Marley first came out, Songs of Solomon, they took that. That's not the same as when Elvis Presley he went with that. It's like the ones that's in Pan-African, they pretty much see the same. The other ones that's down with
I'm having this conversation with you and I'm saying this to you because you know only reason why Elvis what?
Yeah,
so
because
hard.
of the first degree in 1 to 10. We know that. We know he's
Yes, the devil
second degree.
put his hand in it and made sure that you
He
conjured
didn't have
her.
to put his hand in it. You jumped in his hand.
Nah, he made you have. He played ball. He played Elvis more than he played Bob.
Elvis was getting taught by black people.
Correct.
So you
but
did it.
even when it
Why
comes to
did you
his
teach
fame and his stardom,
Why did you
they
teach
promoted one more
I
than
don't
the
care if they
other.
promoted it. You taught him. He couldn't promote nothing that I don't teach. He couldn't have did all that
Oh,
if you
okay,
didn't
okay,
teach it.
okay. I get your point. Well, we always do that from the gate.
That's what I
We
said.
gave them the opportunity.
Okay,
to
so
give
that
us-
kills the whole argument then. It's the foundation.
So
that's
once
why-
we know that, what do we understand? We have to move forward. We gave them.
Well,
the
we know the
ability.
remedy. You if you go according to the culture and the creed, it automatically boycotts the devil. You don't gotta do nothing. Just do that. It kills him automatically. That's how we know you're not doing it. Because you don't kill him. He don't die. If you dying, then you ain't doing it. That's why she kept saying, we be doing it. That's what she meant. They thought that when me and him were saying that, she was talking about we be doing it. No, we were talking about we be doing it. We do this. We really do this. Whatever part of it is good, we do it. We throw the rest away. The ungainly point. See, we cut away the ungainly part. We preserve the best part for our what? Self. We do the knowledge to the whole package. But when you got knowledge stuff, you can pick out what's right and exact. Just go to the mathematical equation.
Well, right. Especially
Alphabet
with,
will confuse you if you don't have the mathematics to match the alphabet. The math,
it's constant.
no,
One.
the math is the code to the alphabet, and the alphabet is the code to words, which would be the code to 120. So, if you use your math to the alphabet, that's how come you could break that code. And then those are combined now, and you take those two together, and you jump into 120. Can't beat you. That's how you do it. And that's what I be trying to tell him. He said, I said, no, when I'm born in you, or just because I gave you Kemet, and I gave you Zachariah, and all those CUNY, I'm all there, I'm trying to bring you into 120. Because 120 will automatically shift. It's like castling. We already in the wilderness North America since 1555 to now. So, he already got you, he's in your fort, you need to castle. He's going to automatically deal with emotion. You going to deal with logic, and don't think we don't got some, but you check yours, because a man won't check his emotion, becomes a serial killer, shooting up schools, schools too much. You too strong to be emotional. You see up things, you go crazy. Jail shooting, going bananas, right? Women get into a fight and just, nobody be saying the women are getting together to do a drive-by. You're right. They don't do that. They might even fight each other, but it's not dangerous. Two dudes fight, that shit could go to the end to death. Somebody could die.
Well, not even. Somebody could die. It might not stop.
You're right. It could go to a blood feud. You're right about that. It could go, man. It could go 500 years. Yes, it can. We've seen it in history, right?
Women.
They be catty and all that, but they don't be killing. Not, maybe a little bit like, what's her name?
Well,
JL did that King. But that's some.
Well, no. It's her dealing with that. It's
Right.
not her dealing with her.
Not an
And when it's
empire.
her dealing with her, after a while, when it gets so, I don't know.
Well, they definitely ain't
When
gonna
it
do an
gets too
empire thing.
ugly, it's a
Well,
problem.
they're not gonna be able to really pick a hierarchy anyway. It's never gonna get ugly. You seen when they was out in the woods, they had corporate America women and corporate America men, and they go out on some island. They got them on together, right? And we pretty much survived because we'll know how to pick a hierarchy. You good at mechanics, he's good at. We're gonna do it. We're not gonna be tripping because you good at mechanics. And
Well, right.
Because it's a life and death. As soon as the shit goes to Eli, we immediately square up.
Right.
When they go to Eli and them, they need us.
Well, at the end of the day, correct. When it comes to numbers,
Well, they can't tame the earth. We tame it and then they get inside it. We tame it and make it pretty and beautiful and home.
they made right.
We
They
fix
some of the best managers in a sense. The
They can manage our shit while we out there doing what we
Well,
do.
yeah,
Getting the
they're
money,
some of the
making
best
sure it's
managers
good,
in the world.
building the shit. And you sit there and make sure the money good, the children good, everything right. That's if they really got you at. If they on that other shit, I'm just making sure I'm good because if this goes south, see, you already walking in thinking something going south, meaning that in the old days, you didn't let it go south.
Well,
They be letting it go south. It made me think of the guard, right? He
well,
said,
because then they only manage it. That's why I mentioned the whole idea of entity before.
well, you ain't managing good if you ain't making the employees want to work.
Well, a manager works for who? At the end of the
If
day,
it's
there's
his
no
corpora-
chair.
Wait.
There's no
If it's their
CEO.
corporation.
You
They
ain't there.
working for themselves.
Right. They not a manager.
Then they the manager, the owner, the CEO, the fucking treasurer, the finance, they hire.
Oh, it's a business.
But when I run it like FOI said, in the Dutch they say, the food of Islam, how they ran it, then we was the food of Allah. So you got captain, lieutenant, and private soldier. I run it that way. And it works perfect.
Right. You find somebody to be accountable or somebody that is a point man for.
Captain, lieutenant, and private soldier. So, man, woman, child. I know what I'm doing, and I do it just like the legislature do.
Okay.
I ain't finding shit.
I didn't balance out the equation.
Yeah.
But
Because the root is we way past organization. So now your universe is man, woman, child. Can you control that cipher? Are you boycotting the devil there? Do you own that cipher? If you can't
Step
own
one.
this cipher,
And
you
step
want to own
one.
some other ciphers, and I'm
Step
teaching
one.
this. No. You
Step
got that
one.
one still. Do you have that done? That's why I said, did you master when it was knowledge and wisdom? I'm gonna need you to master that.
Right.
Get that right.
True
Get
step
that.
one. Well, no, step one is
You.
And
I'm gonna need you to
right.
get you
Right.
right. Exactly.
Step two
Her.
is grabbing her on and have her going right.
Father said, go get you.
Step
go
three
chop
is
teach her to teach you, 'cause we all land
chase
over
the next
here.
one. Because
We-
once you do that,
Right. You can't understand.
you do it right. If you do that, not fucking do it right. Because once you do that, it's right. It will perpetuate itself.
'Cause we can't-
That's what he gonna do.
Talking like in our days would have been NWA. She ain't saying no NWA shit.
Well,
She's saying some
That's the next-
PE type
okay.
shit.
It's simplicity, right?
Yeah, because she's like brand Nubian. Rock Kim. She talk like that.
Wait, nah.
Nowhere near.
Well,
now
like
she
you
walked
said,
down the
we're not
block
even
naked. I
comparing
saw
to
that.
female shit
But
that
that
you
was,
did.
she walked down the block naked. She was trying, I said she's entertainment part.
Right.
So she's trying to get relevant again. And she thought that might do something. I'm in DC. But you know, they be in that world and they need that relevancy and because they all there.
You mentioned that.
Entertainment
Sexy
world. but-
Red, because
Yeah, but even I know
Well,
about her.
Well, that's the funny part. This comedian had this joke. She had her first concert.
Okay.
They had to cancel it.
Well, she couldn't sell it out.
Well, Ratchet ain't got no money.
Because
But
there's
don't
more.
try to go somewhere where you looking for
No, I agree with you
more
100%.
numbers and better.
The
You
numbers
looking
were
for
too
1,000
big.
people and better?
She
Well,
could have
hold
did a
up.
show. She could have did it. Whoever was the person connecting the show for her, they didn't know what they were doing. It wasn't her. It was them. First of all, if I was booking a show like that, I would never book her on her own unless I was at the Blue Note or one of these little clubs or something in the village or somewhere like that where there ain't much to pack.
Okay, that's my point. I'm trying to.
If you're
I'm
talking
trying
about
to-
a stadium, she's always hanging with Drake. She'd have been a side hit for his show. She wouldn't have had to worry about packing.
Well, she's trying to do her own shit.
You can do your own shit. I'm gonna let you open for me.
No, that's not your own shit. She
Yeah.
Her own shit meaning she's trying to have somebody open. That's what she was trying to do.
Yeah, you ain't large enough to have nobody
Well,
open for you.
Next thing is, the type of music you presenting is for those who have nothing and they upset.
Ah, You only got one good one, maybe two.
That's my point.
But you don't have enough of a catalog to do your own. That's what I'm saying. Who was your manager that thought you had that kind of pull? Who thought that?
Because-
They set you up like that on
Well,
purpose.
social
They did that.
media has that people when you have all these
Then you should stay
followers.
on that.
Well, right. Run with what works for you. Yes.
No, run
Stick
with
with
what's
what you
making
know.
the money and what really
Well, right.
is
Stick with what you
packing
know.
the house.
Stick with what
When
you
we
know, baby.
packed the pavilion, we didn't think we could pack Madison Square Garden.
Well,
And you do
Right. Right. Before ignorance knew his place. Right. Before at least ignorance knew his place. Now it's like
dude,
you don't even
Ratchet
know.
will be Watch out for the
Nah.
yes, it will. They've had that in it. They will not.
Well,
they
yes, they had that in it.
Okay, so I know what to look for. Here's this call sign. Nails, toes, a lot of fucking makeup. All the different little, at the house they had those little things. Mary's here, many, they got all the makeup shit. They like all the hair. They want the, I gotta have my hair done in 14 days. Don't let the water hit you. I don't, because what would y'all get? Dude, I done been to, look, most of us that we know each other, I could pretty much make a call on you by your girl. But your girl, no, none of us want no ratchet. If we find out she's ratchet, we be gone. Now she might hide it for a minute, but it's gonna come out eventually. You're gonna say that. That's what I'm talking about. See? My weave and my that head hat, my hair and my eyes. That person that you see,
Well,
stop
right.
playing yourself. So if you lambs bull, why you don't like it? Why you afraid of it? Why you think it's bad? Why you front? You got real niggas in the community. See, that's what I was talking about. I know what it is. It's unconscious. That's what it is. Because the woman that got knowledge of herself, she gonna be moving 3/4 covered. But if she ain't Vegas, she gonna be at least Hebrew. They not gonna carry themselves in that manner. They're gonna be moving totally different. I don't care if it's Hebrew, if it's Kemet, if it's Pan-African, if it's whatever it is. All of them on that side of knowledge of self, Rasta, 5%, all of them gonna have that look that you're gonna say, I don't care what they were, they that now. You don't know, but you eat. If it's ratchet under that, then you'll detect it too. But most of the time, they'll move way different. The whole no, the ones who don't know that, but not overall. Everybody know. Most of the children know that ain't real.
Well, we talking in North
If we just use the wilderness North America, the majority of the people in the wilderness North America do not believe the white man made the pyramid. See, that already gone.
They believe they the minority.
Because we really understand the ones that colonized us.
Well, okay, right.
We got French colonizers, Portuguese colonizers, Spaniard colonizers, English colonizers. That's what we got.
North America.
And Dutch, Anglo-Saxon, German. Anglo-Saxon, Dutch, German. That's what we got. But they're in the English form.
The Anglo-Saxon, Dutch, German is in Africa.
So they give you that genealogy, that trail.
When they really wasn't in
who they are now. Your name is who it is now.
Yes, they were British. Coming over here, going in. It was more English. It wasn't British. It was more English.
British and English the same motherfucker.
That's what we call them now. They
Lord.
Give them the label of British then.
Yes, they do. We didn't give them the label. They are British because they're from Britain. English is their language, Lord.
They'll laugh at them speaking because it's like
we'll laugh here at them.
Right.
They'll be laughing at you when you hear.
Well, that's my point. Because
the accent. You don't have an accent to you because you're here.
The words you use and that phrase I use, that was before my existence. That someone using that. Okay.
No. Words come first, and then that you make it into a language.
The egg had to come before the chicken. Well,
he did the language first, and then he got his people to speak it. Boy, it wouldn't have been, nobody would have knew. It was really, he got letters, and it ain't lasting. It ain't still here. I
think all languages, a group started that.
Taught you that language.
Before there was writing, there was language. Right? Do we agree on that? There was language before there was writing.
I don't want to say that. Because that would be...
There was communication before there was writing.
I don't know that. Well, the knowledge of self is from knowledge to born and from born back to knowledge. And knowledge of self was made manifest in the mind first before it was in the physical sense. And you see, knowledge...
Right, as soon as you say that, I go back to what I'm saying. Because me and you could...
if we got to agree on what we call
writing. Because I'm taking writing in a
Well, I'm saying,
term. Right.
I'm the European.
jotted.
And let's go back and say, when the first writer you see?
Jotted down is right. As far as
I mean,
writing,
we go back to cutie. We just go back to
because like say sign language.
See?
That might we call it sign language now, but that might have been really the first writing.
No, he calls it that. You don't know what they call it.
That's what they call it.
Because you're relying it on him, but when you go read their books, how do I read? Because he'll say something like, they didn't have no written language, and then we pull an excavation site up and we know, and then we go, well, there's a language just because we can't translate it, but there is a language right there.
Well, we know in present time, you may try to communicate
Well, show
with
me one of the
somebody
old
that
tribes.
can't speak a language you speak it, and you'll physically do something. You'll try to, whether point in a direction, point at something.
Oh, you mean if we speak the same language?
No, we don't speak the same language,
It's
but
gonna
we're
be
trying
hard.
to communicate.
No, if we want to communicate, we can. Especially if it's man and woman. It's really hard.
But we're gonna physically do something. We're gonna do some
Right,
type
you
of
have to
motion.
do that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying as far as consider what's the first right. Because
No,
even
but
now,
then that
to
still
write
goes
letters,
back
you
to-
need to what's in it, and they're trying to get rid.
But that's
get
if
rid
your
of that. They're trying to-
concept is we was here. What if the degree says I'm saying just founded this planet and you don't know how to read. It's impossible to I founded this planet. We older than the sun, moon, and star, and then you saying that what? That you couldn't read and write and you founded a planet? So when is that at? And I mean, where you going with that? And if it said knowledge of born was made manifest mentally first, then in the physical sense, and the man is not the body nor the soul, so the gases and why? I just don't see where the beginning of it is. Now, if you're talking about, we're going to say where we at now, so we go from 1555 to now, and we blind, deaf, and dumb, we could get that beginning. But if we saying our people, once we hit 1555, there is no beginning. There is no beginning to the original man. He never had a beginning. If he's the original...
There was no true understanding at his...
Man, they used to say the one that had made manifest born then, that quabalistic tree, if you can understand from knowledge to born and then the cipher. So it goes knowledge to born, and then that, before it's stabilized.
Right. So we're understanding anything has really been.
Well, the universe is... Okay, when it first came out, I seen the degree. It had triple ciphers. Then, the first cipher, then it had two ciphers, then it had two ciphers. Then, that stabilized triple darkness and all of that. So now you got triple darkness, single, double, triple. That's like a circle. So that's the dark. Inside of the darkness, the black suns and all them had to stay. These suns and triple darkness, because the darkness is the limit of space. Right? And then you got these suns and black holes and all that, which is the polarities.
Right. Balancing out the whole triple
So
dark.
who you think is doing that? You who's moving sky. So, and then as you stabilize the universe, then you say, I need to experience this. And so now you bring yourself down into a baby, and it can just really go on. Once you create influence, the law is set up. I don't need to do anything. It's like I bought the coin and I put it on the
like
block.
setting up. Like
I don't got to
setting
do
up.
nothing now. It's on automatic pilot.
Well, it's simplicity. You set up dominoes to fall, and you drop that first one.
You ain't got to do no more. If
Well,
you did them all right,
Right.
you can make it go all kind of
and
places.
the change other than that, you just can't go grab one. You got to plan and grab the right one.
And you might have to
miss
grab
it. By the
more
time
than-
right.
More than one.
Well, there's
you might
so
have to
many
open up the space
situations if
enough.
you don't
You
plan
might
right.
need two, so
Right.
it don't never touch the other one.
Right. So, and my point in it,
Time, they do that in time.
Well, that's how things go.
Well,
Right.
I'm saying motion is being made, triple darkness. Time is based on where your planet is at.
Correct.
Uh,
But something interfere with that.
Well,
Something
except-
else got to play a part in it.
or just even on the fact that based on the calendar that we use in this world, but even if we use the sun and the moon as a calendar, and look at where the planets and everything move and the stars, you will still see that it's different at different points in time.